Hi there, it's Melissa, and today I'm making a layout with my January Clique kit, which is called Algeria, and it features the Happy Place collection by Fancy Pants, and it's designed by Kim Watson, and it's happy. It's bright, it's got fun icons, and I'm just loving creating with it. And what I wanted to do was scrap a photo of myself for my word for the year, and my word for the year is grateful. And the reason I've chosen that word is because if I can be grateful in all things and see the good in all things, then I will live a happier life. So I prayed about what word to select, and that's the word. So what I'm wanting to do today is show you how you can use your silhouette or your die cut machine, whether it be manual or electronic. And so what I've got are two of the cut files. This is a 2016 cut file. These are exclusive to Clique kits, and they come with your kit if you're a subscriber. You can also purchase them in the Clique Kit store, and if you use my code Melissa10, you'll get 10% off. So we've got 2016 with a little heart for the eye, and then one of two butterfly designs. So I've chosen this one, which is a more geometric butterfly, and all I did was cut it in 3 sizes, so just increasing it a bit each time. And so I want to combine electronic or manual, I guess if you've got a manual die cutter, with punches and show you how you can create a layout. So I've got a vision in my head of hearts working together with these, with a photo with me, and I will also use some thickers for my word for the year, which is grateful. So I just wanted to explain that. Also want to show you, because this is a special album for me. Last year I just did a word for the year, and I didn't make anything else based on that word. I just had the word and I had it where I could see it. And this year I found this in Spotlight. It's a Project Life, it's a Becky Higgins album, and I think it's 8x8. And I didn't get any page protectors, I forgot. And we don't live in a place where it's easily accessible to get things like page protectors. I can't find any online here in New Zealand. So I've decided that I'm going to go old school with this album and not use page protectors. And when I say I couldn't find any, what I'm meaning is that the Becky Higgins Project Life page protectors are specific to, with what I find here in New Zealand, with what we have as limited product, are specific to the Becky Higgins album. So there are other page protectors in 8x8, and I used some of them, We Are Memory Keepers ones, in my December daily, but the holes do not line up with the whole system in this. So I'm just going to go without page protectors, and that will make for a more tactile, interesting album. I'm going to go old school and just punch holes in the paper and see how we get on. So my intention is to create pages based on that word and how I'm doing for the year. I am reading a book at the moment called 1,000 Gifts, and it's all about being thankful. And so I'm planning to take a photo of the book and probably do some reflective journaling about what the book has meant to me, and that will probably be my next page in this album. So I'm going to put you on fast forward and create the layout. I hope you enjoy. So my first job was to cut the paper down, and I said before that I wasn't sure if the album was 8x8. It is 8x8, but obviously it's larger than 8x8 because you don't want your pages to be at the edge of the album. So I just cut my paper down to 8x8, and that's what I've done there. I wanted to use a coloured background to make the white of the die cuts pop, and the blue was lovely. So now I've got my heart punch, and I decided to just use the small hearts of the singular punch. And I'm just going through the 6x6 paper pad. I've got quite a lot of scraps because I've used the pad a lot, and I'm just punching, I think, 3 or 4 of every pattern. I'm also using that punch that has got hearts, kind of, it's like a corner punch, but it's not, and it punches 2 different sizes of hearts, and they're quite small, so I'm using that every so often as well to punch out some smaller hearts. So the vision I had for this layout was to have hearts layered across the top like a border, an uneven border, and that's what I'm doing here. And I wanted to have the largest hearts, so from the singular punch, all across the top, and then have the hearts falling down. So I'll have a few of the larger hearts, and then smaller hearts to fill in the gap. So kind of like a tight line of confetti raining down onto the layout. And because I'm not using page protectors, I'm really excited about having the freedom in this album to have bits and pieces go off the edge of the page, and I won't be cutting the excess off because I want that look in my album. And I'm also quite excited about the potential of using the B side or the other side of the paper as well, especially if it's double-sided like these papers are. So I've sped this up because it's very repetitive, but I did want you to see how I did it. I'm just using this Stampin' Up. It's a glue pen, it's quite liquid, and I'm just putting a tiny dab on it, and this enables the edges to lift a little bit. Not so much with the small hearts because they are so small, but definitely with the larger hearts. So that's the look that I want, and I'm really happy with how it turns out. If you've been watching me for a long time, you'll know that I love colour, so that's why this collection is so perfect for me. So now I am backing my photo. It's a selfie that I took, I think I took it last year, near the end of last year, and it's the photo that I've updated all my social media to have as my profile picture, and I'm really happy with it. I'm not a big taker of photos of myself. I much prefer to be behind the camera, but I think for the sake of making an album about myself, and because this is my word for the year, I always make sure I have a photo of me, and it's good to have an up-to-date photo. So I've just layered some papers together, not wanting to go too full on because I'm aware that there's a lot of colour raining down from the top. And so I've just got papers and colours that are really complementary to photo. And I'm wearing a top that is got pink and purple, but you can't really see the purple. So now I'm wanting to add these butterflies. I had 3 of them, but the largest one is too large. So I'm wanting to use 2, and I like the way, almost like a doily, how they're layered underneath my photo. I also need the 2016 cut file to be on my page. It's a really important part of this page, as well as my word, which is grateful. But I'm wanting it to be obvious, this is the first page, and I want whoever's looking at my album to know that this is the album for 2016. So I'm really excited about the possibilities for this album. I'm going to scrap a page about the book that I'm reading, which is called 1,000 Gifts. It's an amazing, amazing book. I will link the author below. I can't remember. I think it's Ann Voskamp. I'll link it below, because if you're looking for a book about being grateful and being thankful and applying that to everyday life, especially as a busy mum, then I think it will really speak into your life as well. So I'm happy with the placement, and I'm just using that same glue pen to apply some glue. I purposely didn't want to back these die cuts with any pattern paper. I like the way they look just plain like that. I've done another layout with Brielle, and I used the other butterfly that you get with this kit, and I enlarged it significantly, and I backed it every single gap with pattern paper, and I used sequins as well. So I really love how that part of the butterfly wing is going off the page. I think it's something different, and once again, if I was using page protectors, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have to trim it off. So I like the idea of bits and pieces poking out the sides, and that when the album is quite full, you'll just see all sorts of goodness, and it will make you want to have a look and see what's in the album. So I'm just adhering that with double-sided tape, as always. And now I'm going to glue down the 2016. And I'm using Tombow Mono Multi to glue this down. It's thicker, and because the die cut has some very thick parts to it, like the 20, it works. And you can find Tombow adhesives in the Clique store, and I'll put a link below. I'll put the link to just the Clique website, and you can find the store link on there. So I'm just gluing that tiny little heart down. I love it. I love how that looks. Just weighting those parts down because they are tending to pop up, and the glue, both of those glues dry really quickly, so you don't need any weighted parts on there for very long. Now I did say I was going to use thickers, but in the end I needed something a little bit more subtle. I think these are from Basic Grey, and are just from my stash. And are just a small uppercase letter, and I'm just adding the word grateful. I think it's really, really awesome to have a word for every year. I know that one little word was a concept that is developed by Ellie Edwards, and it is amazing. And one day I'd love to do her class, but in the meantime, I have my word, and my journaling will be scripture that goes with that word, and then it'll just be the cover page of my album. Sorry about that, my text message. So I'm just playing around with some of the other embellishments. I'm not wanting to overdo it here because I really want the focus on this page to be the heart confetti and I guess the clean and fresh look of just the white die cuts against the background paper and all the colours coming down. So just adding a little bit of embellishment. Here I've added some of these enamel shapes, some enamel hearts. I've got that circular element over the middle of the other butterfly. I was going to add a tag, a label, but I just couldn't make it work. It was a bit too much. So there I'm showing you the Happy Place ephemera pack, and there's so much in there, it's jam-packed. And I've made, I think, 3 layouts already with it, and I've still got so much left. So these are some of the other enamel shapes, and they're all add-ons to the kit. So I'm just adding an arrow pointing at me to remind myself that my word for the year is grateful. And my final touch is to add my journaling. And like I said, it's the scripture. And you'll be able to see it in close-ups at the end. So I did just stop the recording because I wanted to read you that scripture. It's 1 Thessalonians 5, 16 and 18. Sorry. I will be joyful always, pray continuously, give thanks in all circumstances, for that is God's will for me in Christ Jesus. And by that, I just believe there's always something to be thankful for, even in the harder times where it may not look like there's anything to be thankful for. So that was just a close-up of it in my album, and there's a couple more close-ups coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I encouraged you to mix your die cutting with your punches. I'll be back again soon. Thanks for watching.